very disappointing given how high our expectations are. But you know what? I don't care. It's football, AJ. It is
Yes.
football.
Yes.
Even if it's shitty football, it's still football.
Exactly, and that's all that matters, you know what I mean? And it's not like the USFL football that we had to watch with no fans, no buzz, nothing. I mean, yes, we probably will see some ex-USFL players in this game here tonight, but it's a different atmosphere. It's NFL football. You can smell the turf. You can smell the fresh pigskin Noah. You can smell the first blood drawn off of the first brutal hit over the middle. I could not be more excited than I am right now, bro.
Yeah, I'm curious more than anything to see if we get any action from any of the starters from either team.
Yeah.
I'm sure we might see some snaps for some of the rookies, second-year players. But, we got glimpses in the warm-ups not too long ago of Devontae Adams running some routes, catching some balls in full pads. Christian Kirk, didn't see anything from either of the quarterbacks, but I would love if we get to see the starting units for a drive or even a whole quarter. That would be great. If not, I'm not really expecting that, so I won't, be too disappointed if it's, the backups playing the entire game, backups and third strings, and guys trying to make the roster.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a great time for those younger guys who maybe are on the bubble or something to even get some good film out there as we cut the rosters down. Make sure they get some good tape out there, maybe make a big play tonight. And, another team's like, oh, shit, we need that guy as a free safety or as a corner or as a slot receiver or something. You never really know what you're going to get from here.
Well, and we do.
Sorry, go ahead.
We do see that.
Oh, yeah.
Where you have guys kind of shine in the preseason, don't get signed to the 53-man roster, and then some other team goes and picks them up. So, it's not the end of the road if, these players don't make the 53-man roster on their given team. They can always be picked up by someone else.
No, absolutely. What the fuck? We're doing this thing again, Noah, where I'm getting all of these issues, and this one says it's serious.
Uh-oh.
I know. And so our stream's still strong, but it's just telling me it's a serious issue, Noah. And of course, it wouldn't be our first stream of the NFL season if we didn't have serious technical issues.
Of course.
All right, let me go ahead and do this. But yeah, no, I think you make a very good point. We do see a lot of those guys that do end up getting signed and re-signed and moved over and flip-flopped around, and we're going to see a lot of that coming up, especially as the rosters do get smaller and as unfortunate injuries will occur, like we saw with Jensen. Obviously, a big loss for the Buccaneers there. But Noah, we have a lot of time to talk about other football news later. I want to do something we have not been able to do for months and months and months, and that is, let's talk about the lines for tonight's NFL game, bro. Oh, I got chills. I got chills right there, bro. It's back, baby. Now, of course,
doing a little handicapping.
Oh, of course, bro. I've been diving into all these second, third stringers like, oh, this guy's going to go off, this guy's going to go off. But, of course, it's a preseason game, so we don't really have a lot of fun stuff to bet on. You just have basically the major three markets there. Obviously, the Raiders are now a 2.5-point favorite. We have seen that line jump around. We saw them when we recorded on our weekend update on Monday that it was a pick'em at the time, and I took it at a pick'em. I took the Jaguars at the pick'em just because what the hell, it's preseason. I'm still on the under there, Noah, at 30.5, but that Raiders money line, I mean, it feels like the books kind of know something that we don't, and if you want to also take a look at the public money, I mean, the public seems uncomfortably comfortable with the Jaguars tonight, Noah. Why is that, and which way are you leaning right now, bro?
Well, I think I'm not going to waver. I'm going to stick with what I had earlier this week, and that's Jacksonville money line, as well as the under. However, it does scare me that the line has gone more in favor of the Raiders, despite the amount of money that's on Jacksonville and the percentage of people on Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, that can mean anything. That can be sharp money coming in just on the Raiders, and so that's why the books are leaving in at 2.5. Maybe they found out Derek Carr and Devontae Adams are going to play a series or two, and they think they're just going to score on those fools as easy as they can. We really don't know, but that's why it's gambling. No, are you taking any first half bets? Because I'm really thinking about that under 14.5 and sticking with this under trend, bro.
Yeah, I like that number at 14.5. I think that's not a bad take there. Yeah, I don't expect a whole lot of scoring. There hasn't traditionally been a whole lot of scoring in these Hall of Fame games. Obviously, both of these two teams getting an extra preseason game here versus other teams, so no need to rush your guys into that.
No.
Every team does preseason different, though, so it's always something to keep an eye on. Obviously, you've got certain teams where they don't play the starters at all the entire preseason. Some teams you got them playing a quarter or a half every single game. Usually that is more so when you have position battles. I don't really see any position battles, especially on the Raiders, but even on Jacksonville, I don't know that there's a whole lot of position battling going on.
No, Urban Meyer's not the head coach, so they're not going to have a quarterback battle with Trevor Lawrence. I think that's a good call there. But yeah, no, I mean, while we wait for this game to kick off here, let's talk about how much different the Jaguars look. I mean, everything I'm hearing out of the camp and everything I'm hearing from reports and everything, it sounds like just a better overall environment, and it's hard not to be a better environment after Urban Meyer was there. But to the point where, hearing Trevor Lawrence talk, he sounds like a different quarterback, sounds like a more confident quarterback. He gets his buddy ETN back. I mean, we've talked about it on our AFC divisional coverage and everything, but I really think the Jaguars are going to figure it out this year, maybe rattle off 5-6 wins, and definitely take a big step forward. I think Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be the quarterback sleeper in fantasy, and ETN is going to end up burning a lot of people some weeks.
Yeah, I mean, their over-under is at 6.5. I obviously picked them to go 3-14, which I believe is the same record they ended up with last year. This team's still so young, so inexperienced, so lacking in talent at so many positions. I just don't see them, regardless of a coaching upgrade, winning too many games. And keep in mind, they had, I think, either 0 or 1 wins before Urban Meyer got fired. So yeah, they looked a little bit better towards the second half of the season. I think that under hits for sure at 6.5. I don't see them winning 7 games. 3-14 might be a little harsh, but that's where I've got them at. And I do want to say we do have a weather delay right now.
Yeah, I just saw that.
So apparently lightning in the area. It's going to be at least another 30 minutes before this game kicks off.
That's rough, Noah. That's rough. And these games are already rough enough. Yeah, I mean, so with that being, I'm sorry, going back to the Jaguars real quick. With Doug Peterson there, obviously, they did turn it around a little bit towards the end and looked a little bit cleaner, looked more like a team and everything. But Doug Peterson, he has that experience of taking a team to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. Granted, he doesn't have Big Dick Nick over there in Jacksonville to help him out when he needs some help. But when it comes to the experience and how young and impressionable Trevor Lawrence is, do you think that Doug Peterson is going to really be able to mold his mind into the quarterback that he has to be, as we see an interview with him now? I mean, already he looks a lot more comfortable and a lot more confident than he did last season, and it has to be, I think, at least due in part to Doug Peterson and the camp that he runs.
I don't. I'm not going to sit here and say Doug Peterson's a bad coach, but he didn't really do much to craft that roster that he had in Philly, and obviously getting canned, two seasons after winning a Super Bowl, that should tell you enough. Philly had that one spectacular year where they won a Super Bowl, and then they were kind of trash after that. People say he's great with quarterbacks, pointing to Carson Wentz's 1 or 2 really good but incomplete seasons, and then they forget to mention that Doug Peterson was still the coach when Carson Wentz's numbers started tanking after that.
Yeah. So, that's right. I did.
So I'm not I guess my position is I'm not like a Doug Peterson hater, but I'm not going to sit here and give Doug Peterson a whole lot of credit either. So I'm somewhere in the middle on him. I think he's a decent head football coach. I think he gets a lot more credit for some stuff than he should have, just because he took the Eagles to an improbable Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Oh, and we do have C Tuna in the chat right now, and he says it does sound like you are saying he is a bad coach, Noah, and I do have to agree with him on that. I mean, I did not hear one nice thing you said about Doug Peterson in there.
I mean, he won a Super Bowl.
He did win a Super Bowl with an improbable team and an improbable quarterback in Carson Wentz, who likes to, throw interceptions, not take care of the football, and just kind of fuck around.
Well, he didn't win the Super Bowl or a playoff game with Carson Wentz. He won those with Big Dick Nick.
Well, yeah, obviously, Big Dick Nick is one of the best playoff performers that we've seen in generations, honestly. I mean, that was an epic run that he had there. I would dare say his numbers are almost as good as Brady's in the playoffs, but that's another conversation for later. Moving on, Noah, from the Jaguars to the Raiders, as we are still in a rain delay.
Wait, AJ, you mean...
Oh, I'm sorry. The Raiders! Absolutely, Noah. Obviously, a lot of distractions last year with the Gruden emails and all of that stuff that came. They did end up staying the course and playing solid throughout the rest of the season, making a playoff appearance and doing solid there. I mean, with the moves they've made, you got Chandler Jones, you brought in Davante Adams. Derek Carr seems to be a guy out there in Vegas who can keep his head on straight and not get into trouble, which obviously has been a pass for players in the past in Vegas. I mean, I think if they weren't in such a tough division, I'd have them winning the division. But they're going to play unbelievable football, and I really think this is going to be it's going to be a damn good year to be a Raiders fan, and it's going to be the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I don't get the disrespect on the Raiders. Sitting at an over-under of 8.5, like that seems super disrespectful to them. A lot of people picking them to finish last in this division.
Yeah.
When in my mind it should obviously be Denver. And, it sucks for Denver because you look at them and they should be a playoff team, aside from the fact that what might kill them is they have to play the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Chiefs twice a year each. That's why I have the Broncos just missing the wild card spot by a game or two. I think they're still going to be a very good team. But yeah, this Raiders team is being slept on like crazy. I don't get it. They made the playoffs last year, and they got much better. Granted, the rest of the division got better as well.
Yes.
But the Raiders are probably one of the three most, if not the most improved roster from last year. And this team got a wild card spot last year. So they're going to be really good. They got better on both sides of the ball. That offense is going to be lethal.
Yeah.
It's going to be lethal, and people aren't paying enough attention to them because they're being overshadowed by Kansas City and the Chargers.
Hold on, I want to push back a little bit there, because as much disrespect as the Raiders are getting, I would say the Chargers are right up there in the disrespect. Honest to God, the only two teams I'm hearing about the AFC are Kansas City and the Broncos. And the only reason I'm hearing about the Broncos is because we had to see Russell Wilson do that "Let's Ride" video 1,000 times, and then everyone decided to remake it. By the way, shout out to all the social media departments at all the different colleges. You're not creative. You just ripped off an already old meme. So let's get with the times and maybe do it a little faster next time. But
I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. Did you see the one where somebody took, and there were like 5 or 6 different colleges that like had somebody doing that?
Yeah.
And they were all making fun of the Broncos and Russell Wilson. It wasn't like, oh, this is catchy and we're going to do it. And somebody stitched all of them into the same video, and it was hilarious.
I did see that. That was funny. But, I mean, for all of them to be doing it, like, come on, let's get a little original at some point. But, Noah, let's talk. Good.
I was going to say, I fully disagree that the Chargers are being slept on. A lot of people are picking the Chargers to win the Super Bowl or picking them as a favorite to win the AFC. That's not being slept on, and they're not going to do it.
Who are you reading? Who are you listening to? Because everyone that I'm looking at and all the research I'm doing, everyone has them like maybe second or third in the division and not doing that hot.
I don't think hardly anyone has them third. I just want to say that there's the Broncos crazies who think the Broncos are going to like finish first or second, and that's a small portion of people, and they're dumb and stupid because the Broncos are going to get last. The Raiders are being slept on big time, but I would say the Chiefs are being slept on more than the Chargers are, because like people love the Chargers because they're the hot trendy pick, but the Chiefs are kind of getting I shouldn't say maybe not being slept on, but they're being ignored because, I don't know, but people are forgetting it's still the Chiefs and it's still Patrick Mahomes. They're still going to win a lot of games and be a really good team.
No, absolutely. And excuse me. I will say, ever since the Tyreek Hill trade or to the Dolphins and everything, obviously people have been taking a step back from the Chiefs and seeing how strong this division is going to be and everything. But if they can't get to the quarterback and they beefed up that line there in Kansas City, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, if he has time, it doesn't matter who he's throwing to. He still has weapons there in KC. He's going to make something happen. I mean, I guess, Noah, if that's what you're hearing, but I'm just hearing everyone and their mom sleeping on the Chargers and our boy Herbert. And it's getting bad. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be one of the toughest divisions in football to, easily, if not the toughest. As they're showing a replay right now of all the players leaving the field. Trevor Lawrence was suited up.
Yeah.
If that's worth noting.
That's why I'm curious, because we're seeing a lot of these starters suited up. Whether or not they actually see the field at all, who knows? My guess would be we'd probably see him for at least a drive, if not a full quarter, given that some of these guys are suited up. Makes me a little more worried about the under. I might have to take a last-minute pivot here on that.
Well, luckily, no, we're in a weather delay, so we'll have some time. As we do see Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico in the booth, with Al Michaels going to Amazon, right?
Potential. I don't remember exactly. I should know that. I believe
he went to Amazon and is doing the Thursday night broadcast now. This will be our Sunday night booth. And Noah, I will say, shout out to Tirico. He deserves the opportunity. I love when he's on the call. But Chris Collinsworth, get the fuck out of town.
Got Collinsworth and the Italian stallion, Mike Tirico.
Mike Tirico, what a baller, bro. I really hope he can bring some new energy out of Chris Collinsworth, But I don't know. I feel like Chris Collinsworth's still going to be up his ass about stats and everything. He does run PFF. I get it. But Jesus, dude, we can't stat everything.
I don't understand why you and a lot of people hate Collinsworth. I love Chris Collinsworth, man. I've said it. I continue to love Chris Collinsworth.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I like Tirico as well. I hated him with John Gruden, but I think that pairing just played off of each other terribly.
Yeah.
I don't mind Tirico in a lot of other things. I for sure like him calling golf. He's got a very good calm golf voice.
Great golf voice. But no, I mean, yeah, Colin, he's fine. He's not as bad as Romo or anyone like that. Not as bad as Aikman.
See, I like Romo too, but I just can't stand Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Man.
I know you can't stand Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, and I can't figure that one out to save my life. Tweedledee
and Tweedledum.
Bro, that's why you gotta watch the show Brockmire. The guy gets into a fist fight with Joe Buck.
I should say not Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They're more like Tweedledum and Tweedledummer.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. But, hey, to all those listening and watching while we're in a weather delay, thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. Help us grow the channel, fight that YouTube algorithm. And, of course, answer our poll in the comments. Who you got in the first half, the Jaguars or the Las Vegas Raiders? So, Noah, I'm so happy we get to say that for another 6 months, bro. 8 months, however long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then I'm sure with college football, too, we'll have the, we got a couple teams in there, right? College football.
Oh, yeah.
The
Texas Tech
Texas Tech
Raiders.
And then I'm forgetting about one. Somebody in the Fun Belt, right?
Yeah, someone in the Fun Belt. I can't tell you who it is, though.
Colors are red and black. I don't know why I'm spacing on the school here.
There's something Raiders, though.
Been a long day. I'm spacing on that a little bit right now.
It's all good, Noah. And hey, speaking of college football, Noah, we got some big stuff coming up with college football this year.
Oh, not Raiders, but okay. So that's why I was spacing. It's our favorite, the Louisiana Lafayette Ragin' Cajuns.
Yeah, absolutely. Love making money with Louisiana Lafayette. But love college football in general. We do have some big news coming about college football this season, but you do have to wait. We got to finalize some things, but that news should come out next Monday, bro. We should be good next Monday to start talking about that shit. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we better. I mean, about 3.5 weeks till the college football season starts. So,
Shoot.
I mean, week 0 is coming up like maybe 3 weeks from today.
Yeah, I
3
think
weeks
it
from
is.
tomorrow. So
No, don't get me wrong, no. I still have a lot to do before college football even comes up and everything. But we'll be able to announce it as early as tomorrow afternoon. So follow us on Twitter at DGenTakes in order to be the first ones up to date on our future college football plans and everything. As we're still in a rain delay right now, seeing a shot of the field, it's looking a lot better. They're showing a nice slow motion now, time lapse of the storm rolling in.
Oh,
And
so yeah, not from today. For 3 weeks from Saturday. So
3 weeks from Saturday, we got week 0.
Yes, we have 11 FBS games on Saturday, the 27th for week 0.
Wow.
Not a whole lot that looks too exciting. Nebraska Northwestern, probably the most exciting game of that week 0, which on any other given week would be a doozy that you wouldn't pay any attention to. But you know what? It's a conference game in the Big Ten, so it's something.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something.
We're just over 3 weeks away from that. And then, and then we really hit the ground running on Thursday, September 1st.
Boom. Thursday, September 1st. That's going to be a big day for Degenerate Takes and the DGen Nation. Stay tuned for updates on that. Jason Garrett in the booth now for Sunday Night Football. Noah, how do you feel about that?
I don't know yet. Obviously been, watching on mute since we've been live, so I haven't actually heard or processed what he's saying. I mean, he's got a good football mind. I don't know how the entertainment factor is going to be. He's definitely very cheesy, though. I can tell that.
Oh, yeah.
Smiling and laughing a lot.
Dude, but that's what you got to do when you're getting paid the big bucks by these corporate networks, Can't do what we do and have a drink and enjoy it. You got to sit there. Oh, yeah, that's funny, Tarico. I've heard that joke 17 times in the last 3 days. Thanks, Tarico.
Yeah, although I think it's hard to be shitty when you're alongside Tony Dungy.
Oh, absolutely. Tony Dungy is one of the GOATs when it comes to coaching. He's a baller, bro.
And I do think Jason Garrett, like I said, the entertainment factor, I don't know how that'll be, but as far as a football mind, I mean, he's got a great football mind, so he's certainly been around the game, been coaching for long enough that he's probably got some good insight to add there. And being the secondary to, Tony Dungy on the pregame, postgame stuff, I don't hate it right now. I don't love it yet. I don't know what to make of it until we get a couple weeks into the season, but. I'm not dreading seeing Jason Garrett up there.
No, and I mean, what's his name? Jerry Jones loves him like a son, so I'm sure he'll be good. He had to have impressed Jerry with that football mind and everything. So, hey, it's going to be a long season. He'll have some time to really get into it. He's got 18 games to work with, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Jerry likes him more than sniveling Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Dude, what was all of that? I know he's not going to be in the Ring of Honor or something, but, what? What the hell? I thought, I get it, but, Jerry, let's let the bygones be bygones, bud.
Well, it's interesting because, last year, Jerry Jones said he was going to put Jimmy Johnson in the Cowboys Ring of Honor. He hasn't done it yet. People were asking why he hasn't, and Jerry Jones lashed out and said, I'll do it when I want to. I'm the one making the decision. That's not going to come quicker or slower because of sniveling Jimmy Johnson or sniveling Jimmy. And interesting, talking shit about a guy who won you 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
A guy who was your teammate in college at Arkansas. I've never understood the bad blood between the two of them.
No, me
and
neither.
The only conclusion I can come to is Jerry Jerry Jones being, sorry, 2 JJ names, getting a little twisted there. The only thing I can come to is him feeling inferior because Jimmy Johnson's a better football mind than he is.
Perhaps. And he hasn't been able to win since.
Yeah. Then again, Jerry's, a million times richer, so.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think Jerry still wins out there. Do you think Cowboys fans, if they could, they would just go back to the 80s when they were dominant so they actually had a leg to stand on?
They still do.
What do you mean?
Cowboys fans are living in the 90s, dude. This season's going to be interesting, though. This is maybe the first time I've seen Cowboys fans getting down on their team before the season even started. Year in and year out, we see the same thing every year. They're always like, "Oh, this is our year. This is our year. We're going to win the Super Bowl." Blah blah blah. And then, it's delusional year in and year out. But the buzz around the Cowboys is not super positive going into this season for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, and I mean, as football fans since birth, I mean, it's one of those things you always heard people talk about the Cowboys, but even on sports shows, you're not even hearing obligatory Cowboys talk. And if you are hearing obligatory Cowboys talk, it's because they're talking shit about them. They don't know if Dak can be healthy. They don't know if Zeke can be in every back down. They think Pollard should be in there instead of Zeke. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Even Skip, he is down on his Cowboys, and it's unbelievable. Shannon is having a field day with him whenever I have the opportunity to stomach them yelling at each other at 8 o'clock in the morning here in Arizona. But, yeah, man, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice not hearing the Cowboys fans chirping.
Yeah, and, watch them get out to like a 4-1 start to the season, and then they're going to be all like, and they'll be back in a heartbeat if that's the case. But, interesting. It's just interesting that the preseason buzz is a lot less this year than it has been in any year I can remember for the Cowboys.
No, 100%. And, it's usually one of those things. You can't, once training camp hits, you can't turn on any sports media without listening to the Cowboys talk about something or how good Zeke looked or Dak putting these things in a dime. But, I mean, nothing this year. Just silence on all fronts. And honestly, I couldn't be more happy with it. What's coming up? What's coming up this week? Oh, we got Hard Knocks coming up next week, bro, with the Lions.
The Lions are on. Oh, that'll be interesting.
That'll be damn good.
I love all the little clips, and you see the players, and it's like, I don't know if they're just getting caught at the perfect time or people are screenshotted at the perfect time, but it's like all these players look like they're ready to murder somebody for Dan Campbell.
Dude, hell yeah. I was listening to, they released a little clip of, the first episode, and it was Dan Campbell giving a motivational speech. And, bro, I have not been so ready to run through a wall in my life than I was when Dan Campbell was done with that speech. That man is going to do incredible things, I think, this year. Like I said in our picks show, 10-7, they're winning a playoff game, bro. The Lions are going to do unbelievable this year. Kneecaps are going to be gnawed. Dogs are going to be born, and they're just going to murder every team, bro. They're just going to murder them.
Yeah, I don't see them making the playoffs at all, but as we covered, I originally had them as like a 6-win team.
Yeah.
And then I looked at their schedule. And I was like, this team could win as many as 9 games.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be sitting right at the 7-8 win mark. Not enough to make the playoffs. 7, I think they'll be sitting at, I should say 6 to 8 wins going into the last week of the season. And if the Packers are in good enough position where they're sitting the starters, I think the Lions pick up another one there. Who knows? That might just be the win they need to steal the last wild card spot.
Yeah.
If the Packers don't have a full game lead going into that last week, then I don't see the Lions. I do expect them to be better, but I don't see them beating the Packers in a need-to-win game for Green Bay.
No, absolutely not, especially with Aaron Rodgers taking some alternative medicine, I guess we can call it, during the offseason. I don't know if we want to get into that now or later, but...
Well, he might as well. The teams aren't even on the field, so...
True, we are still in a rain delay here for the Hall of Fame game. Raiders versus the Jaguars. But the most interesting story probably of the last couple days is Aaron Rodgers self-reportedly taking an ayahuasca trip this offseason.
Not this offseason.
Was it last offseason?
No, it was before the 2020 season. And
shit.
Yeah, and that was when the start of the Aaron Rodgers drama happened. Obviously, we've had that. Didn't have to worry about it really this year as much, but the last 2 years, it's like, oh, what's going on? Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, and since taking that ayahuasca trip and really diving into his deep self and whatever, I don't know. There's a 2.5 hour podcast out there. I got about 15 minutes into it, and I was like, whatever. It's just Aaron Rodgers getting all philosophical, not talking football at all, just talking about his personal life and everything. He should be a philosopher because that's how the dude speaks. But yeah, tripping on ayahuasca and then winning back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah, no big deal.
And I did watch some clips, though. He was talking about that, how that really like centered him and brought him back. He was thinking about quitting football, and then for some reason that ayahuasca trip got him back into football, got him performing better than he had been the past couple seasons.
Hey.
And yeah, if you're a young quarterback and you want to win some MVPs, I guess go take an ayahuasca trip in the off season.
Yeah, you might as well, right? What can it hurt? What can it hurt at this point? I mean, if it's essentially guaranteed a double back-to-back MVP seasons and not looking back, I mean, that's not a bad trade-off.
Yeah, it was a combination of that, and then he also said before that 2020 season, he started watching a lot of film from the 2010-2011 season.
That's right.
Where the Packers won the Super Bowl, and I didn't get deep enough into it to hear him say anything like what he gained out of that film, but I know that, those were the two big things, was the ayahuasca trip and then watching film from 10 years prior.
Hey, sometimes you just need to break down. I don't know, who knows? Maybe something clicked for him and he thought he was doing something better, something different, and that made him, figure it out. But from
either that or his girlfriend cast some witchcraft spells on him. And
True. Can we confirm or deny that she was a witch?
Well, not Shailene Woodley, the current one.
Oh, he has a new girlfriend who's a witch.
Yeah, and she's apparently a witch. So hopefully she can cast a spell on him to win a Super Bowl, because I would love that.
I mean, go ahead, cut a couple chicken heads off. Do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, interesting, though. A lot of turmoil with Aaron Rodgers, and he seems very content, very happy going into this season, which is a big change of pace from the past 2 years.
No, absolutely, and nice to see that. But Noah, going from one of the dominant NFC quarterbacks to another dominant NFC quarterback, I do have a report coming from your favorite insider, Adam Schefter, saying about Sean McVay, Rams head coach, saying about Matthew Stafford's elbow pain that it is abnormal for a quarterback. He has apparently not been throwing, has some type of tendinitis in his elbow, which makes it incredibly painful to throw. Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to see your quarterback sitting out any days of training camp like my boy Kyler Murray, who is on the COVID list, I guess.
Also, one less receiver.
Yeah, we'll get into the Cardinals. We'll get into the Cardinals in a minute. All right, we'll get into the Cardinals in a minute. But no, obviously Matthew Stafford coming off of a huge year, Super Bowl victory, first year out of the Lions system. Are you concerned at all for him not really participating and for him having this little nagging injury going into the season?
I'm going to say it's something not to be super concerned about right now, but something to keep an eye on.
Yes.
If I'm a Rams fan, I'd put it at mildly concerning.
Mildly?
Mildly. Yeah, I don't think it's anything to lose your head about. For all we know, it could be a little thing that's just they don't want to push it. They don't want to aggravate it during training camp. If he's fully healthy and ready to go week one, who cares? Stafford, like we were talking about earlier, some guys, Stafford's one of them who he's not going to get a single snap in preseason.
Oh, no. God, no.
especially McVay's a coach who doesn't like playing his starters at all. LaFleur and the Packers, same way. LaFleur doesn't play any of the starters all preseason. So Stafford wasn't going to get any reps in preseason anyways. So long as that's fully healed up and everything by week 1 and there's no risk of re-injury, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're missing some practice reps. Just want to interject real quick mid-thought. Players are taking the field. We should have kickoff here in 10 or 15 minutes. But yeah, I'm not super concerned about it right now, unless something happens. But I do think it's enough of a something. I think it's a little something. So you got to at least keep your eye on it.
No, 100%. And last thing on the Rams, OBJ, he going to be there again?
No.
No? Does he sign before the end of training camp?
No.
No.
I think because he's not probably going to be ready until week 8 at the earliest, maybe not till week 10 or 12. I don't think he's going to get. I think he gets signed right around week 4, week 5. Somebody's going to jump on top of it. It's almost like a game of chicken, right? Because you can prorate the basically the veteran minimum salary for him.
Yeah.
So if you sign him a quarter of the way through the season, you only got to pay him for 3/4 of a year. If you sign him halfway through, you only got to pay him for half of the year. So I don't think anybody's going to sign him post preseason unless somebody has like a wide receiver injury. They need to sign somebody. Cowboys would be the only team I'd be watching out for if they have the cap room to do that. Like I said, I don't think Odell's going to be a super expensive signing, which honestly, the value he brings for the price tag that he's going to have is like almost unmatched.
Oh, absolutely.
Across the league.
Absolutely.
And I don't think any team that's not a contender is going to, he's not going to sign with any team that's not going to have a good shot at winning a Super Bowl. So I think that leaves you with like the Rams, the Packers, Tampa Bay in the NFC, a good 8 or 9 teams in the AFC probably. But I think week 4, week 5 is when that signing ends up happening, about a month before he's ready to return to play.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I don't think he's moving anytime soon unless the Rams really just want to lock it up for another year and go through that. But I don't really see them doing that because they don't really need to right now. But it will be interesting to see where he ends up, as we do have everyone taking the field. It has been announced that at 8:40 Eastern, 5:40 Pacific, we will have kickoff for the Hall of Fame game, Raiders versus the Jaguars. We'll go over our picks one more time before the game starts. But Noah, before we do that, as we continue our trip around the NFL while we wait for this game to get started, we brought up the Arizona Cardinals a little bit. The Arizona Cardinals offseason, the best way I can describe it is the slowest train crash I have ever seen in my life. It's like, as I'm watching, we're not even in the season yet, bro. We're not even in the season. We're just in preseason. Haven't even played the first preseason game yet. And, bro, I already see the locomotive slowly crashing in to the big brick wall that no one saw coming. And that was Kyler Murray signing that contract, Kyler Murray then getting COVID for the first 5 days of training camp, and now what was supposed to be his number one toy while DeAndre Hopkins was out for the first 6 games due to a PED violation, Marquise Hollywood Brown arrested Wednesday morning in Arizona at about 7:05 a.m. Criminal speeding. He was going extremely fast in an extremely slow area, approaching a school zone. I mean...
No. It was on the highway.
Was it on the highway? I'm reading conflicting reports.
Yeah, he got clock going 126 in a 65.
Jesus Christ, bro.
So almost double the speed limit.
Jesus.
I mean, that's just fucking stupid. Thank God
So
nobody
dumb.
got hurt. Nobody got hurt. No harm done. He'll get slapped with felony speeding and have to pay a fine that's going to be fucking peanuts for him.
Yeah.
And he'll be back with the team within the week. Yeah, it's just Yeah, shitty to see that because, I mean, pretty much the same thing as Henry Ruggs, except for he didn't hit someone, you know?
No, absolutely. Like, thank God. C Tuna's in the chat right now saying Kyler does not have COVID, and I know of another person that got a criminal speeding ticket. Yeah, Tuna. All right, we don't need to be dragging up old information. All right, that was like 10 years ago. But I mean, shit happens when you're going downhill and you're in Mustang. But with that being said, the Cardinals. I mean, obviously, just the Marquise Brown situation is so unfortunate, especially for a team that's already facing a lot of issues and a lot of drama surrounding the quarterback and the offense already.
It's just a distraction. I mean,
yeah.
like, it's an unnecessary distraction. Like I said, nothing is going to come out of it affecting the Cardinals, right? Like,
hopefully, you don't think he'll get suspended for this, like a game or two?
no.
Let's hope not.
No, because, yeah, given the NFL's history and what they like to suspend players for and not suspend players for, criminal speeding is not one of those. And like I said, unlike Henry Ruggs, he didn't hit and kill somebody, so he's going to easily be able to post whatever his bail is, and he'll be back. Like I said, he'll be back with the team within a week. And not that he won't get chewed out for it, but it's just fucking dumb. I don't know why would you ever drive that fast in like 126 miles an hour? I mean, I think Ruggs was 156 miles an hour, which is just
dumb.
Yeah, like what is the need to drive that fast in a 65? I don't know. I'm not going to go on a huge rant about that. I'm done with that. But
well, Noah, moving on to the game that we have at hand. How does it feel seeing Davante Adams not in the green and gold, but in the black and the silver?
I was sad to see him leave, but I think the Packers might have done the perfect job not drafting a receiver in the second round, but in the fourth round, Romeo Doubs, and dare I say it might be a close to, not a perfectly seamless transition. There's no matching Davante Adams. He's best receiver in the game.
Yes.
But like our division rival in the Vikings, Stephon Diggs, after they traded him and drafted Justin Jefferson, who just took right over for him. I don't think Dobbs is going to be quite as good as Adams, but I think the Packers found a real fucking gem in the fourth round. He has been noted through, a week and a half of training camp, almost every single day as the most impressive player in camp. Yeah, I get why people shit on the Packers receiving core. Without Adams, obviously he was 70% of the production at receiver. But I think we'll be all right, and I also think Davante's going to have a tremendous season with Las Vegas, reunited with his college roommate and Derek Carr. Hopefully, we get to see at least a drive of those two.
Oh, that'd be fun. Just to see the chemistry, together, see how it goes.
I mean, hey, they played together for 2 years. They lived together for 2 years in college, and they're really good friends still. They're hanging out all the time now. Davante was really happy. Carr was really happy to get reunited. So as much as it hurts to see Davante leave from the Packers, I'm happy for him. He got paid, which the Packers weren't really willing to pay him what he wanted. And, he's reunited with Carr. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
It sucks, but I'm happy for him.
Yeah, and it's hard not to be happy for a guy that's making $104 million. But no, like you said, it's going to be epic to see him and Carr going at it and doing what they did in college. I mean, they say, I don't know where I was going with that, honestly. I got halfway through that sentence and lost my train of thought. But yeah, no, I mean, Derek Carr and Davante Adams are going to be epic. The Dobbs thing, I mean, ever since you said the name Dobbs on our weekend update this week. I mean, I've been looking at him, and I can't hear his name enough. I mean, he seriously has the potential to win Offensive Player Rookie of the Year, or even Rookie of the Year in general. I mean, still getting at solid odds.
I think he's actually he might have shifted from 100 to 1 down to 65 to 1 just because of the buzz that he's getting at training camp, which is crazy.
And he's getting a hell of a lot of buzz going in to this season. Noah, as we are about 10 minutes away from the game finally kicking off, I do want to go over our picks one more time. Let me go ahead and fix your screen, though, because you're very small now. There we go. As we look at it, line is still 2.5. Total still 30.5. No, I'm still feeling confident about the full game under, but seeing some of these guys really suit up, I mean, do you think we're going to see some starters come in and maybe drive up that first half total from 14.5 upwards?
That's tough.
I know it's tough. That's why I asked the question, Noah.
I'm still sitting on the under 14.5 because I'm banking on the starters getting. If they play, I'm banking on the Raiders starters one drive, not a full quarter. Jacksonville maybe a full quarter tops. So I mean, if there's a first quarter line, I'd maybe be on the over of that. But halftime, I'll still stay under 14.5, under 30.5 for the game. Rainy, wet conditions as well. Yeah, I like the under.
Could be some sloppy football. It would be nice to see, honestly, especially for the under. You still sticking with Jacksonville here for the money line at plus 120, or you kind of leaning the Raiders?
Like I said, I think if Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, and crew are playing, it's going to be for one drive and one drive only. I would say, they probably good 70% chance they score a touchdown on that drive. But after that, if they're off the field, I like Jacksonville's youth and depth better, as well as the fact that I think Jacksonville might keep starters in the game longer than the Raiders would. So I still like Jacksonville. I really wish that line was at 3.5. I would love to jump on a Jacksonville plus 3.5 line, but it is at 2.5, and so we're just going to take the money line on Jacksonville and still on the under. Got to stick to my guns there.
Yeah, you got to stick to your guns, as now we see Leroy Butler taking the field for the Hall of Fame game. He is being inducted. Packers safety, Leroy Butler, shout out, congratulations, bro.
The man who started the Lambeau Leap. He was the first one.
Really?
Yep.
No shit. And then you got Bryant Young, lineman for the 49ers, coming in.
Yeah, Leroy Butler was the first ever person to do the Lambeau Leap.
Wow.
Yep, safety, and it was on a pick six, and he jumped into the crowd, and ever since that moment, the Lambeau Leap was born.
Hey, shout out to him and the Lambeau Leap. As we see all of these Hall of Fame inductees being honored, Art McNally coming in, NFL official, probably the last good one.
And AJ, I am going to step away for a brief moment while we get to the coin toss.
Sounds good, bud. See you in a bit.
Before we have kickoff.
All right, no, we'll see you in a minute, as we are now seeing Dick Vermeil, head coach for the Eagles, the Rams, and the Chiefs, winning a Super Bowl there with the Rams. Congratulations to him, and shout out to all of these Hall of Famers. This is a hard sport, and this is one of the Hall of Fames that, I mean, at least as a viewer of the sport, is Sam Mills now being honored. He was a linebacker for the Saints and the Panthers. This is one of the few Hall of Fames I feel like that actually means something. You look at the NBA Hall of Fame, and literally anyone gets in as long as you wait long enough. The MLB Hall of Fame is a joke right now at its core. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. NHL, I mean, they do it right too. Cliff Branch now coming at for the Oakland Los Angeles Raiders at wide receiver. Cool that the Raiders are there. Not like they planned that or anything. Ha ha. NFL's good at that. NFL is good at that. But yeah, this Hall of Fame actually means something. They really look at what's going on as Tony Boselli is coming out there for the Jags. But yeah, I mean, we're getting ready. We are closer and closer to kickoff of actual football being played this season. And it's exciting to see as Trevor Lawrence now not in pads, just wearing his jersey, was probably just warming up the team, making sure he got those mental reps in. Maybe a little gamesmanship there by Doug Peterson and the Jaguars, hopefully trying to catch 49ers off guard, making them think he's going to play. As we get Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth to take us into the last 5 minutes, we should get the coin toss here, and then finally the kickoff for the game. Oh man, football is back and cannot ask for better conditions. It is rainy, it is cloudy, it is perfect Midwestern football there in Canton, Ohio. The Hall of Fame of pro football as we await kickoff. I'm really excited to see this Jaguars team this year. I'm going to say it again, and Noah's going to be joining us back here in a moment, but I'm really excited about this Jaguars team and what they're going to be able to accomplish with competent coaching. I think Doug Peterson has a couple of years in order to, make this team what it is and really build his culture, and that's going to be this year. This year, kind of like Urban Meyer last year, is going to be a rebuilding year. It's going to be a culture building year so that you have a good feel when you walk in the building. Everyone knows everyone feels good, plays good, looks good. And I think Doug Peterson is the perfect person to come in and make those adjustments as Noah is joining us back live here for the Hall of Fame game live stream with the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Noah, we are so close to kickoff. I can smell it, brother.
Yes, we are. And you know what? That means the NFL season is fully underway. Well, not fully, but mostly underway.
I mean, honestly, it gives us something to look at. We can come back on tomorrow and dissect the game. We can talk about football. We get to talk about all the football lines for the preseason games next weekend. I mean, Noah, I looked at my schedule for the next couple months, and it's busy as hell, and it's because of NFL football. And so, bro, I know we're all the way back.
Yeah, and just imagine a month from now we'll be covering regular season NFL football.
Oh, where we get Baker Mayfield going against the Browns. Oh, the Cardinals coming out with the Chiefs week 1. Oh, no. The Bears starting their campaign to draft C.J. Stroud. Oh, so many storylines coming out. No, I cannot wait for this season.
Could you imagine if the Bears end up taking 2 Ohio State quarterbacks 2 years apart?
Hey, one of them's got to work out.
Yeah, just give up on Fields now. I think it's funny. He's one of the most polarizing young quarterbacks in the game, where a lot of people, including myself, are saying, "Oh, he's going to be an absolute bust." A lot of people still have faith in Fields, though, with the right offense. They think he can get going, but this is a guy who averaged. He played over a third of the season last year, and he only averaged 170 yards in his starts. I think had more interceptions than touchdowns. Not promising building blocks. Not saying that it's impossible for him to turn that around, but he did unfortunately have Matt Nagy as his head coach. So,
and I think the Bears finally understand they're in a full rebuild now. You know what I mean? We traded away Khalil Mack. We traded away
Tevin Jenkins.
Yep, and our wide receiver, freaking A. What's his name?
Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson.
They didn't trade.
Well,
they let Allen Robinson walk,
which is even worse. But I think they understand they're in a full rebuild, and that's why I think if I'm Justin Fields, I'm kind of worried about my spot. This GM didn't draft me. This coach didn't draft me. And if I don't work out this season, I could be looking at a backup job somewhere.
Yeah, honestly, similar situation with, we have mentioned the Cardinals and their situation, because that was a change in, I don't know if there was a GM change, but the coaching change happened, and I think Cliff Kingsbury didn't want to deal with Josh Rosen and wanted a different quarterback. They ended up getting Kyler Murray. So I wouldn't be completely shocked, especially if the Bears, obviously the favorite to get the number 1 overall pick, even if they finish with, the first or the second overall pick in the draft, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go after, CJ Stroud or Bryce Young.
No, honest to God, if Justin Fields doesn't work out this year, I think they'll be in a much similar situation to the Cardinals when it comes to quarterback play. As we finally see the team graphics showing that the game is about to start here, 8:40 Eastern, 5:40 Pacific. Melissa Stark's on the field. She's given the final field report. Noah, it's rainy. It's miserable there. It's an under day for football.
Yeah, although we'll see if the Raiders get the ball first and you got Derek Carr and Devontae Adams out on the field. Expect Devontae Adams to get a good 2-3 catches and maybe a touchdown here in the very first drive.
Don't forget about Hunter Renfrow also being extremely dangerous out there.
Renfrow getting paid this offseason as well. Notching that,
Oh, yeah.
I think he was 2 years, $26 or $28 million. So not quite the magnitude of contracts as other receivers, but still a pretty nice fat contract for a guy who had over 100 catches last year.
No, absolutely. And a storyline I don't think is talked about enough with the Raiders is their new head coach, Josh McDaniels. Obviously from the Belichick tree, former offensive coordinator, offensive. Thank you, offensive coordinator for the Patriots. Now the Patriots don't have an offensive coordinator and will not name one, but that's Belichick being Belichick. Doug Peterson also in his first season. We're seeing a lot of first season head coaches in this game.
Yeah, there's 6 or 7 of them across the league. As we see Jarrett Stidham, I believe was on the Cardinals. Maybe Patriots.
Yeah, he was a Patriots backup. Ooh,
I think
okay.
I'm thinking of Strevler, who
Strevler.
may or may not still be on the Cardinals. But yeah, so we are not seeing any of the starters suited up here. Stidham, we got no Adams, no Waller, no Renfrow. I was curious because they were all suited up full gear for warm-ups. Didn't know what was going to happen, but yeah, it looks like we're not going to be seeing the starters at all this game.
No, not at all, and can't really blame them. Don't want to risk them getting injured or anything like that.
Weird first play there, AJ. I'm assuming I'm a little bit ahead of you, like I usually am.
Noah. As I'm waiting, seeing a shotgun. Stidham driving it, bro. He's got an arm on him. I mean, hey, it worked.
I thought he was trying to go deep down the sideline there, but I don't know if the ball slipped. Still a completed pass. Looks like Jacksonville maybe lined up offsides there.
Roughing
free
the
play.
Passer, no.
Oh, roughing the passer. Gotcha. That's what they called there. But, yeah, weird one. I don't know if that's who he was trying to throw the ball to there, but completed pass nonetheless.
And don't forget, we are dealing with some weather, Noah, so that ball probably was meant all the way downfield, but that wind probably stopped it a little bit.
I believe that was Walker, the number 1 overall pick in this draft, getting called for the roughing the passer there in the first play.
That's a roughing the passer right there. Momentum already taking you, trying to get your arms up. But welcome to the NFL, bud, because they're going to be calling that shit on you all day.
Yeah, it does appear Josh Jacobs, the starting running back for the Raiders, is in there, having a nice little run there on the second play of the game.
Very nice run there.
So interesting. We got none of the starting receivers, tight ends, or quarterback, but you got Jacobs in there still.
And of all the positions I wouldn't want taking hits, running back is one of those ones. They're going to get beat up all season. I would not want to take a single risk with putting one out there.
Yeah, I can see both sides of it. I mean, I agree with that to an extent, but also, Jacobs being a little bit younger, you want to get him some reps. Obviously, Adams and Carr have been in the league long enough that, they don't really need it.
Fair.
Still, I am mildly surprised that Josh Jacobs is in there getting reps right now. Unless there's some sort of running back battle there in Las Vegas. I mean, what's his face? Did they sign Chase Edmonds this offseason, I think, maybe? Am I mistaken?
Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, Zamir White, and Brandon Bull. That's what their depth chart is.
Okay, Kenyon Drake. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, so I don't know if there's any sort of potential running back battle that we haven't heard of here. I think Chase Edmonds, he went to Miami, and then Kenyon Drake went from Miami to Vegas, if that might be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, maybe.
As, see, a little bit of sloppy play, sloppy footing there, probably due to the wet field.
Yeah. And we'll see a lot of that tonight, probably.
Yeah, bringing up 4th and 7. I'd imagine the field goal unit coming out here for the Raiders.
Yeah, as it looks like Stidham's going off there. Now, Noah, obviously, the first thing I noticed when we started play today is NBC changed their scorecard.
Yeah, their interface. Yeah, the visuals are a little bit different here. I mean,
it's better than the Fox one was last year.
Yeah, I don't necessarily hate it. Trevor Lawrence not wearing pads or a helmet, so obviously we won't see him at all.
No. But hey, the kick
I feel
is
pretty
up and good.
I feel pretty solid with the under, even though, less than 3 minutes into this game, we already have a field goal on the board. That's okay. I expect Jacksonville probably comes out a little flat here. I don't know. We'll see. It's preseason. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's all a major crapshoot.
It is. And hey, as we're in our first commercial break, to all of those listening and watching, thank you so much for supporting the show. We do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, if you want to support us, we got merch. Go ahead, buy merch down below. It's in the description, and follow us on the Twitter at DGenTakes, at Brofect1, and at Engel Money Train. Noah, how is the Money Train going? Are we choo-chooing along?
Yeah, we've now had 3 days over 500 to start the month of August.
There you go.
So, yeah, can't complain about that.
No, can't complain about that at all.
Been plus units for the first 3 days of the month. Let me just take a little peek at the MLB scorecard and see how we're doing today.
Yeah, might as well. We got some time.
Yeah, look to be maybe doing okay today so far. I don't know. Still a lot of baseball to be played. We'll see what ends up happening with that. And yeah, I don't know. It's a good start to the month, though. I can't complain about 3 positive days in a row.
No, you really can't. Attaboy. But no, since we are talking about gambling, I think we should go ahead and take a look at our first live line of the night. After that one score, Raiders now a 3.5-point favorite. Money line just dropped a little bit. Total gone up to 33.5 now at minus 115. Noah, if you're an under better, I think that you got to just keep jumping on it, right?
Yeah, at this point, I would double down on the under, as well as now that line's at 3.5 where I wanted it to begin with. So I like the Jags plus 3.5. And, well, looks like we're down to 32.5 now from that 33. But if you're able to nab it at the 33, love that.
If you can get it at 32.5 at that minus 105, that's a good value right there.
Yeah, quick, like I said, quick field goal.
We're going to be moving.
But, yeah. And, hey, if you're tuned in live watching this, I want to hear, what is your biggest hot take for the upcoming NFL season?
Not hot take, Noah. We're degenerates here. What's your most degenerate take for the season going in? Let's hear it from the D-Gens out here. Drop it in the comments, and we will address it as we get a touchback here on the kickoff for the Raiders. Who the Jaguars got? Jake Luton. 6th-round draft pick in 2022. 0-3 record, 55% completion rating. I mean, he is the definition of a backup quarterback.
Not a good one, but
no. But hey, maybe this is his game. Show up, show out, and really win that secondary spot.
Yeah, he had 1 or 2 really decent games in relief of Gardner Minshew 2 years ago. Didn't really play last year. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence playing every single game last year.
Yeah, so they're going to go ahead, get a couple yards on that run.
Yeah, so we'll see how Jacksonville looks here on their opening drive.
And you know what? As we should remember, this is preseason. We are not seeing Etienne in there. We're not seeing Lawrence in there. Not seeing Christian Kirk in there, who decided to just go ahead and F up the entire wide receiver market.
Yes, he did. Well, people should be thanking him because he got a lot of guys paid.
Oh, the wide receiver should be thanking him, absolutely.
I don't know if you thank Kirk or you thank the Jacksonville Jaguars if you're a wide receiver who got paid this offseason. But either way, you got paid big because of the Christian Kirk contract.
Oh, absolutely.
That just broke the market.
Yeah, just absolutely reset it for the boys. 3rd and 7 coming up here for the Jags, playing Jaguars football here early. Raiders secondary defense looking solid to start off.
Yeah, the opposite of Jacksonville, who did not look good on defense on that first drive. Yeah, very quick drive. Lutton missing long on that one. Looks like we're going to get the punt unit out here. Only a minute coming off the clock.
Yeah, the Raiders are going to get the ball in some pretty good field position there. As we go to the comments with our first absolute degenerate take of the night. Take the Bucks go under 500.
I don't hate it.
C-Tuna Productions coming out with that one. I mean, I know you're not hot on the Bucks. You don't like Tom Brady. So that take probably sits well with you.
It has nothing to do with Tom Brady, but as we covered in our NFC predictions episode, I've got the Saints winning that division.
Yeah, I know.
I think the Saints are the only team being slept on more than the Raiders this season.
And hey, Jameis is looking to eat some more W's.
Hey, we love it when Jameis goes.
One of the worst celebrations in football, honest to God.
Oh, come on. We love it when Jameis eats W's. But yeah, the Saints got better on offense and defense. Mark Davis chomping down on a chicken wing.
Shout out Mark Davis, easily the most memeable owner in the history of the NFL.
The richest man I've ever seen with a bowl cut.
Hey, those must be some pretty damn good chicken wings there in Canton.
Yeah, name another billionaire you've ever seen with a bowl cut.
I mean, Mark Davis. Shit.
Mark Davis still goes to great clips for his haircuts.
Stidham drops back. He lets one fly. That'll be incomplete. Oh, man. Mark Davis. What a guy.
I remember when they drafted Stidham to be potentially Tom Brady's replacement. Then Brady just kept sticking around. Stidham left. He wasn't very good. And yeah, then they were with Cam Newton for a year or two until they went with Mac Jones.
Yeah. Mac Jones has been solid. Mac Jones is going to be solid this year.
Got to wonder what's going to happen with, Jordan Love, another guy who's drafted to potentially be a replacement and sitting there, apparently having a really good first week and a half to training camp practice. But, if Rodgers stays around for 2 or 3 more years, Love's contract's going to run up, and I don't think the Packers probably re-sign him. He probably ends up somewhere else in the league.
I don't know. I mean, I could see a situation where you kind of have that Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre handoff, you know what I mean? And, Love is fine sitting in the wings until Rodgers rides off into the sunset and goes on a permanent ayahuasca trip, Well, as the Raiders are getting it down on the ground on 3rd and 1. Yeah,
Josh Jacobs, obviously the most talented player on the field, probably.
Yeah.
Getting the ball routinely. Now, I think with Love, it matters how many years. Because if Rodgers stays for the full 3 years of his contract before he retires, then I think if Love's rookie deal runs up, I don't think the Packers re-sign a backup, especially for the price tag that's going to cost.
But you're not re-signing a backup. You're signing your future starter.
Yeah, maybe to an extent, but what if Rodgers all of a sudden decide, like he plays 3 years of his contract, and all of a sudden decides, even though he said he's not going to play till 45 like Brady, what if he's 41 and then he goes, I want to play 2 more
Oh,
years.
no. Sorry to cut you off, no, but we do see an injury on the field. Campbell for the Jaguars. Hate to see that in a preseason game.
Unfortunately, it happens.
It does. I mean, that's the game, unfortunately. Like, that's the game of football.
And you honestly see more injuries in preseason games and the first couple of weeks of the season than you do the rest of the season. Guys are not quite in that same football shape. Hopefully nothing serious there. Don't want anybody to get injured, miss any opportunity.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the earlier in on the season, especially in the preseason, you see more injuries happen. Hopefully just a minor thing.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. But no, while we are in an injury timeout, I'm going to step away for a second and leave you alone with the D-Gens.
No problem.
Here you go.
Should probably check on the chat, see if we got anything going on here. Of course, I don't have that up on my end. AJ's got it, but I don't. Let's see here. Pull that up on my phone. And all right. Yeah, I touching back to the Bucks going under 500. I don't hate that. I do think they're going to struggle out of the gate. A lot of injuries there. Leonard Fournette's way overweight. I don't think Julio Jones is the right little fix for them necessarily. I don't think he's going to be very productive unless for some reason his career's just been randomly revived. I think I think this is Tom Brady's last season. I do think they'll manage to get like a wild card spot or squeak into the playoffs, but I think it'll be Tom Brady's last season. I think we'll finally have the end of Tom Brady. And he had the opportunity to go out on top.
Bless you.
He had the opportunity to go out on top, but he didn't. So I don't know what'll happen there, but I think Tom Brady does not win another Super Bowl before he retires.
Oh, get out of here. No shot, bro. I'm sorry, I don't know what the conversation was, but...
Oh, I was just saying, I think this is Tom Brady's... I think this will be his last season.
Before he becomes player, coach, owner of the Dolphins?
But before he's making a ridiculous amount of money in the booth and being not very entertaining, trying to force bad jokes.
Did you not watch Man in the Arena?
No, I refuse to.
Dude, it was good. He's entertaining as hell.
Damn, Josh Jacobs getting work.
Yeah, using him a lot tonight.
That kind of surprises me. No, I was saying I think this will be Tom Brady's last season. I think they barely squeak into the playoffs, lose in the first or second round. He retires, and I was saying he had an opportunity 2 years ago to win a Super Bowl and retire on top like Peyton Manning did.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
But instead, he continues to play. He just turned 45. His offensive line is going to be a lot weaker. He's going to get hit a lot more this year, and I think this year is going to push him into retirement.
We'll see. We'll see about that. As Josh Jacobs, I mean, no, watching this game right now, I know Josh Jacobs is the only really name-worthy person out there besides Stidham. But for fantasy football players who probably haven't started their research yet and their drafts coming up, which you're way behind the 8 ball, but everyone's probably thinking right now, holy shit, look at Josh Jacobs. This is how he performs with the second-string quarterback. He's going to be unbelievable. I mean, he is a great running back and everything, and I would definitely draft him over Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. But where do you?
Whoa.
What?
You would not take Jacobs over McCaffrey and Derrick Henry.
I absolutely would.
Well, I want you in my league then, because holy shit.
Yeah,
an easy win every week.
I'll definitely take Josh Jacobs over Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey any day of the week. And if you're one of those sad saps that drafts Christian McCaffrey the first week, Jesus, Jacobs, get it. That was White.
Jacobs
my bad.
I was going to say, he's not in right now.
That's my bad. Can't read. But any sad sap that drafts Christian McCaffrey, just congratulations on a losing season. Simple as that. Especially if he's your running back one.
Yeah, C Tuna saying Todd Bowles is not a good coach. I think that's just some salt. I think that's just some saltiness from a Cardinals fan. Todd Bowles is a great coach. I think he's an upgrade from Bruce Arians for sure.
You've never been a BA guy.
No, both of those guys were with the Cardinals, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I think BA's a schmuck, and and he's lucky he had Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles as his coordinators last season, because, yeah, his just play calling philosophy I think is garbage. He's like, all he wants to do is throw the ball and throw it deep, and it's not a winning formula.
I mean, it did just win them a Super Bowl 2 years ago, but I guess I get where you're coming from. As Stidham taken down,
because they had an absolutely stacked roster and great coaching staff outside of him. I mean, Tom Brady didn't want to come back until BA stepped down from head coach.
No, Tom Brady didn't want to come back because he was going to go be player, coach, owner of the Dolphins.
No, Tom Brady didn't want to play under BA.
I will not listen to that narrative. That's a BS narrative. C. Tuna says Todd Bowles is going to be easier for Brady to push around. I mean, Brady seemed like he had the keys to the kingdom going into that last season and the last 2 seasons. So I don't know if – I think Brady just kind of pushes around whoever as we see Stidham get absolutely murdered in the backfield.
I disagree. Brady couldn't really – BA was taking control of everything, which is why Brady – pulled a LeBron and forced BA into stepping down from head coach and going into the front office because Brady didn't want BA calling the plays anymore.
Can't really blame him there. But, yeah, I mean...
Probably because Brady's 45 and can't throw the ball 70 yards downfield like BA wants every single play.
All right, you know what, Noah? I'm tired of it. Noah. I understand Brady's old. I understand you don't respect him as a quarterback. I am willing to make a side bet right now that Brady will throw a passing touchdown over 50 yards before the middle of the season's over.
Air yards?
Yeah.
No chance.
50
I don't think
yards.
Brady can throw it. I don't think Brady can throw it 50 yards in the air.
Throw a pack of claws on it, bro.
All right. You got yourself a deal.
Hell yeah. By
it's
week
not gonna
9.
Happen.
By week 9.
Brady doesn't throw the ball more than 14 yards downfield, so.
I mean, he's going to end up throwing it 50, so I'm not even worried. Mike Evans is going to be down there. He's going to do a little crow hop and get that ball down there, brother.
All right, we'll see as Daniel Carlson nails his second field goal of the game, making it 6-0.
Woo!
6-0 Raiders.
Raiders.
AJ, this might be a good time. What do we got for the live lines at this point?
Oh, Noah, I'm so glad you asked me. We have the Raiders, minus 5.5 at plus 100 right now. Jacksonville getting the plus points at minus 115. Money lines in the 200s for both teams respectively. Total at 31.5, Noah. Not really seeing much movement past that 33. I think because the odds makers are seeing just field goal after field goal after field goal. Obviously, if we get a touchdown, that line is going to jump drastically regardless of what the score is. I mean, you love Jacksonville at 3.5. Are you doubling down at 5?
I mean, I'm not jumping on that, but for the show's sake, yes, I still like the plus 5.5. I still love the under. It hasn't moved more than 3 points all game.
No,
So yeah, I like the under. I still like Jacksonville to cover 5.5. I don't love the line at 5.5. AJ, we've talked about this a lot. 5 and 5.5 are like, well, anywhere between 4.5 and 5.5 are my least favorite lines in football.
How do you like that 6.5? Oh, it just went back down to 5.5.
I was going to say I love a 6.5 line, but you know me, I always buy a point.
You taking that juice?
Yeah, I don't care. Might as well. But you know me, I hate the 5 line. The 5 line is the worst line in football. 5.5, 4.5, 5 even. You know that I always buy either at those lines. So
say that one more time. No, I lost you for a sec.
I was saying, I always buy or sell a point when it's at 4.5, 5, or 5.5 because I hate those lines. I refuse to take them.
I know you do. And that's where I make my money, though. That's where I make my money. That's where I live, Noah. As we see the Raiders lining up for another kickoff here in the first quarter. 6-0 Raiders against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Seeing a little run here, not getting too far to that 25-yard line. No, how many weeks in until you think we see a run back? Like to the house.
I feel like on average there's one every couple weeks. I'll say there's 1 week one.
I can see that. Now, are we just saying off the kickoff, or are we going to say off the punt too? Like a good punt return?
That's a good question, but I'd say week 1 there's a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Shoot. I like that.
I'd say for sure within the first 3 weeks, but I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't know if you can even find that prop bet anywhere, but if you can, I'd say, yeah, there'll be a kickoff return for a touchdown week 1.
You may have
somewhere
to go to yeah, I could
somewhere around the league.
You might,
16 games.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you might be able to find that line on one of the sketchier sports books, but I doubt that's regulated by any of the big players out there. Which we should have news on something like that soon, but we're
wow.
seeing what?
I'll let you call it. Yeah, I'll let you call this play.
All right, Jacksonville lining up, taking it, dropping back, setting up, shoots it. Oh, fumble! Fumble! The Raiders taking it back down at the 20-yard line. Whoo!
He might have been down.
I don't think he was. Didn't look like he was.
I think his forearm and elbow were down before that ball came out. But that was Laquan Treadwell, former first-round pick out of I think Vikings took him out of the first round.
Okay.
I forget where he was last year. He's been such a non-factor in his time in the league, which just an absolute bust of a first-round pick. Now playing with Jacksonville, signed on a minimal contract, and yeah, it looks like they did rule him down.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 3rd and 5 for Jacksonville, but a guy who really needs something to get his career going and hasn't been able to ever do it.
And hey, maybe it's Jacksonville with all-time quarterback Trevor Lawrence. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see. That was a dicey one for his first catch of the preseason.
But Jacksonville's going to keep fighting and get that first down, and we're going to see time continue to go down. And as we have doubled down on the under, you'll love to see it, brother.
Yeah, and Jacksonville picking up a first down there. I'd like to see that as well. Love to see a nice little 8-minute drive here for the Jaguars.
Oh, I would love it. Fuck it, no. Let's get a nice 10-minute drive. Let's really grind the clock here. Time management.
I don't think that's going to really happen in a preseason game, clock grinding. They're trying to run their plays, get their guys acclimated to the playbook in a real live pace situation.
Yeah, and see what they got. As they get another first down, nice shot up the middle there.
Yeah, the score is just lower because you got less talented players trying to do everything.
Yeah, honestly. As we're getting an interview with a Hall of Famer whose name is escaping me at the moment while we wait for the next play. As we see Jacksonville lining up 1st and 10 on the other side of the 50, handing it off. I mean, Jacksonville, I'm liking their play calling. I think it's a good flow for the game right now. And by good flow for the game, I mean they're taking as much time off the clock so this under hits. I did jump on the first half under at 14.5, Noah, so that's 6 points there. I mean, we're just 3 field goals away from effing all that up.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Jaguars running a lot to rookie running back Snoop Connor.
Ooh. Snoop.
Yeah, out of Ole Miss. Had a really good career at Ole Miss. He's currently listed as 3rd on their depth chart, but obviously ETN on the sideline with the volume of snaps he's getting. I don't know. I mean, obviously with James Robinson, who probably should be the starter. Big thing last year, with Urban Meyer refusing to play James Robinson for some reason.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, you had I would understand it if ETN didn't get injured in the preseason last year, but ETN being injured and then you're refusing to start James Robinson, refusing to give him hardly any snaps, that was weird.
Oh, very weird. That whole situation, though, with Urban was just weird. I think that's the polite way of putting it.
Yeah, Jacksonville lining up for a 60-yard field goal.
Hey, fuck it, it's preseason. Oh, they got a unit at kicker. Holy shit.
Yeah. That's Ryan Santoso out of the University of Minnesota.
Holy crap. Why isn't he running a power eye?
He's a big boy. Nicknamed Toes.
But it is no good.
Yeah, plenty of length, pushed it wide, but he had enough for 65, 66 yards at least on that.
Easily. I mean, he's got the leg for it. Jesus Christ.
Like I said, a guy that I watched back when I was in high school, he was kicking for the University of Minnesota. So I did a little bit of a stint for a year or two as punter as well. I didn't know he was with Jacksonville now, but yeah, he had plenty of leg there on a 60-yard attempt. Not able to put it through, though, and we had a fumbled snap from the Raiders.
Ooh.
Like Stidham, nope. Nico Mullins now in at quarterback. Fumbles his first snap in and then able to fall on it.
At least you can fall on it. That was rough there. Yeah.
Yeah, Nico Mullins, another guy who's been around multiple teams as a backup or third string, never really gotten an opportunity to start, probably rightfully so.
Yeah, you can't be dropping your first snap of the game. And I mean, as a former high school quarterback, Noah, I dropped plenty of snaps, but I was god awful. So like for me, I understand why I dropped all those snaps because I was bad. But when you're getting paid this much money, I don't care if you're a backup or something, you just can't be doing that.
I didn't realize how much depth the Raiders have at running back.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. That was a nice little screen.
I'm glad I'm seeing this because I might be a little down on Josh Jacobs for fantasy value when you've got Kenyon Drake and Amir Abdullah also on that depth chart.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they've got some really solid second and third options for running back, which is, hopefully nothing happens to Jacobs. But if he gets injured at some point, you got some pretty serviceable, solid running backs in the backfield there. And
yeah, no, absolutely. And I think my only concern with taking any of those guys in fantasy is just workload. Are they going to see any snaps that game? You know what I mean? I'll take Kenyon Drake, but am I only going to see him for 6 or 5 snaps, Because it feels like Jacobs is their every down back.
Yeah, for the most part, but that's why I'm not talking about taking any of them in fantasy football. I'm just saying I might value Jacobs a little bit lower just because of the depth he has behind him. Some of those guys might get some snaps as well.
Yeah.
Although, it just reinforces how great this Raiders offense is going to be this year.
No, just a great team overall. And Noah, while we're in commercial break, almost at the end of the first quarter, let's go ahead and take a look at the live lines again as the Raiders are now 9.5-point favorites, total at 30.5. The money line out the crazy ass. I'm chilling on the spreads. I'm chilling on the totals. Now at 8.5. That doesn't really change my mind.
I mean, what? We're still 6-0, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be jumping on the 8.5. I'd be all the Raiders driving a little bit. Still love the under. I mean,
yeah,
I've loved it at every number it's been so far tonight.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I'm not just like chasing and doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down. But if you were going to take, every time we're bringing up the live odds, this is just me saying if I were going to take something, I would. Not me actually taking anything, but yeah, I'd jump on the Jaguars plus 8.5 here. I'd jump on that under at the same spot it was to start the game.
As we now see a sideline interview of Josh McDaniels. I hope we get more of these during the game. In professional lacrosse, a sport I've been covering a long time, you can catch actually my latest betting video for lacrosse dropping tonight at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Go ahead, make sure you're subscribed, notifications on so you stay alert for that. But they do these interviews all the time in between quarters during commercial breaks, and it's honestly very interesting to hear where these coaches sit on for the strategy of the game, as they're into it.
And AJ, I will leave lacrosse to you for now. I'm not going to say permanently, but I don't know what time those games are played. I don't know that I don't have the time to watch and pay attention to that in addition to everything else currently. So
don't worry, no, that's why I covered it. Went 4-0 last weekend in my lacrosse picks, so looking to keep that stretch going. I'm about 2 units up on the year. I mean, it's been a good year for lacrosse.
Hey, there you go.
Gotta love it, bro. As long as it makes money, who cares? With that being said, I don't think we'll be covering cricket anytime soon, unless someone can actually explain to me the rules.
Oh, I kind of...
I get the basics of it, but
Oh, I understand 80-90% of what goes on in cricket. I've only watched it about twice in my life, but...
That was a nice pass there, as the Raiders are moving the ball down the field, now in the red zone.
Yeah, not a good look for Jacksonville as the second and third unit for the Raiders are just continuously picking them apart moving down the field.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be scary if any of those first stringers get injured and they don't have that much depth down here.
Yep, Amir Abdullah taking it around the end for a touchdown, going 12-0 Raiders, 13-0 if they convert the extra point here. Yeah, Jacksonville's defense is looking very underwhelming to me, AJ.
Oh, extremely.
It's making me feel better about my 3-14 pick for the Jaguars this season because they haven't. I mean, they've had some starters in there too on the defensive side of the ball. I think their offense will look better this year, but their defense still doesn't appear like it's going to be great at all.
No, it really doesn't, and it's a shame. And it could just come down to play calling. Maybe they need someone else under the hood calling the plays. But just not. They just look like they're on their heels that entire drive.
Yeah, well, and the first 2 drives of the game too. The Raiders obviously have scored on every single drive now.
Yep, and I took the first half total under 14.5. So let's hope it fucking stops.
Yeah, what do we have? 8 or 10 minutes left in the half still though?
Yeah, something like that. And with that touchdown, it's a perfect time to go back to the live lines as we have now the Raiders as 12.5-point favorites, 900 on the money line, 34.5 for the total. I'm still digging that, bro. I might slam that again, honestly, on the under.
Yeah, I think as we get deeper and deeper into these lineups, hopefully we'll see less. I don't feel as confident with taking the Jags on the spread anymore because their defense is looking piss poor
Oh yeah,
on every drive.
just so bad,
There's
bro.
there's massive holes. I get like it's not a lot of their starters, but even their backups and third strings are looking not good,
No.
which to me is more so of a hint going forward to this season that the Jaguars are going to be not a very good team again. Not
No,
that that's a huge surprise, but
no, I agree. No, it's definitely going to be another rebuilding year for them. And I think it's truly their first rebuilding year with a coach like Doug Peterson. Shad Khan, owner of the Jaguars, has been known to give head coaches the time to try to build and try to win and everything. And Urban Meyer was just a lying piece of shit. And so that's why he got the boot at the end of the day, at least per Shad Khan. So if Doug Peterson has the time and the years to go ahead and put in a good system, put in a good culture, I think this is going to be a different Jaguars team 2-3 years down the line.
I don't think a lot's going to change because I don't think Khan's a very good owner. I think it all trickles down from the top. When you've got a shitty owner, a shitty president, shitty GM, like the players and the coach doesn't matter that much. Like when all of your upper management is shit, then your organization's going to be shit, and the product on the field's not going to be very good. So I don't see the Jaguars really turning anything around outside of maybe an odd year or two where they somehow find some success in the future. But
Yeah.
I expect the Jaguars to be just not very good for a while.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you, but I do think in 2 to 3 years we might see them start to turn around. So they go maybe close to 500, a little over 500. I'm not saying we're seeing a Super Bowl out of them anytime soon, but I definitely don't think we'll see Trevor Lawrence in a Jaguars jersey after his rookie contract is up. As a deep ball getting returned to the 20.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Lawrence. I think there's a chance he ends up just being a bust because he's stuck in the Jaguars system for the first 4 or 5 years of his career, and then nobody really wants to pick him up and, give him a chance. So
True. I mean, yeah, that's a very big possibility, but also just seeing the talent, like even watching him last year, you know what I mean? And he was on such a bad team, such a badly managed team, but you still saw those moments where even in such a bad system, such a bad team, such a bad culture, you still saw the shining light at the end of the tunnel that is Trevor Lawrence.
part of me draws back to, though, like, you have to wonder, was he touted as like this generational talent, like gotta be number one overall pick from, because that started when he was like a junior or senior in high school.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that.
Was he just, I mean, you have to wonder if he maybe just has had outstanding teammates surrounding him in both high school and college, and maybe that's why he looks so good.
Holy crap.
Obviously, he's got to be a part of that, but is he is he the driving force of that, or was he just a product of great systems that he's been in? And so everybody's been raving about this kid since he was 17 years old, and now he's like, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying, like, you have to wonder if maybe he's just been a product of a system for so long that he's looked really good and his numbers have been inflated over what they should have been. And now this is the first time in his life, because if I remember correctly, Trevor Lawrence didn't lose a single game in high school. He didn't lose a single game in middle school. He didn't lose, he lost maybe 2 or 3 games his entire college career. The dude's never lost until last year, where he lost 14 times.
Yeah.
And last year might have been the first time he's ever been on a shitty team, where other teams are more talented than his team. And so I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying you got to wonder if that's maybe a possibility that he was overrated because of the talent that he's had around him his entire life.
And that's a complete possibility, and it could be one of those situations like we heard Urban say last year, every week is like playing Alabama. No shit. I mean, And it could just be the speed and everything. He had to catch up to it. And like you said, he had incredible teams around him his entire career, more than likely. And so now being put in that shittier program, we'll really be able to see if he's got the stuff. I mean, this is the perfect time to see if he does have the stuff. If he is a perfect system quarterback, I mean, then he should be up in New England with Belichick at this point. But, he's here with the Jags, and we'll see if it's the system or not going into the season. As 2nd and 10, the Jaguars get broken free, but there's a fumble on the field, and the Raiders do recover.
Yeah, and that one's going to stand. That one's definitely a fumble.
Definitely a fumble.
Yeah, and with that, with what you were just saying, it's definitely relevant for, you got all these annoying Patriot fans who are like, oh, Mac Jones is the savior. He's so good. He's the best rookie quarterback out of that class. And I fully disagree with that because the situation does not equal talent. And it's the same thing with Lawrence. He got probably put into the worst situation. I'm not going to definitively say that because Zach Wilson's situation with the Jets was probably equally as bad. Neither one of them had a pretty rookie year.
No.
Mac Jones obviously had a pretty decent year, but I think that's all due to system. I don't think it matters for him. Fields, not a good system in Chicago. Had a bad season.
Bad season.
But then you look at a guy like Davis Mills, who with the Texans, he was in a bad situation and actually played pretty decent. Had the second best rookie season out of 6 quarterbacks. Trey Lance, obviously, in a good system. We only saw him for a couple games, so we don't fully know yet. But yeah, I just want to emphasize that it goes both ways with that, but system doesn't equal talent.
I get it, as we see another great run there by the Raiders. Bringing up 3rd and 1. Oh, no, we do see I think it was Bell grabbing his arm. But we cut to Derek Carr and Davante Adams.
Holy shit. Wait until you see the 2018 or whatever Fresno State stats that they just throw up.
5,083 passing yards, 50 touchdowns, 8 interceptions for Derek Carr, 131 receptions, 19 yards for Davante Adams while they were at Fresno. I mean, that is a deadly duo there, bro.
And 24 of those touchdowns were Davante Adams.
I mean, shit.
It's just too bad they played in the Mountain West. Otherwise, Davante Adams would not have been a second-round pick. No. He would have been an easy first-round pick.
Easy.
This man had 24 touchdowns in a single season. And Carr had 5,000 yards and deep touchdowns thrown.
I mean, shit. If they can even do half as good as that, I mean, they're going to be set for the season.
Raiders going for it on 4th down here.
4th and inches, you might as well. It's preseason. Who gives a shit? Please get the turnover here so that the Jaguars can't score and take some time off the clock, as I do have the total first half under 14.5. And they're not going to get stuffed.
I am confused why Davante and Derek Carr both have pads on.
Hey, you got to be ready to go at all times.
Although Carr's got the earpiece in and everything, he's maybe getting his little start to coaching here in the preseason game.
Maybe. Him and Davante obviously side by side as we see here now on the screen. I mean, that's going to be a hard duo to break up. And after they pulled up those 2013 stats, I mean, granted, that was years and years ago, but neither of them have seen the loss of step. Huh?
I think that was 2018 or something.
Oh, and I just can't read, as there's another big run broken off there by the Raiders. You can go ahead and count my first half total dead at this point.
Never mind. That couldn't have been 18. They were both in the league in 18.
I want to say 2013.
I might have misread that. I don't know. Yeah, Raiders running a lot of running back screens, a lot of screen passes in general. Jaguars defending him horribly.
Just so bad.
I mean, good thing for them they have this extra preseason game to start working on stuff, because they're getting, there are so many holes in this defense here.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, granted, again, we do have to remember we're seeing second, third string guys out there. But, I mean, even
But
if
that's
this
on
is the
both
way the
sides.
schemes are. Yeah, no, absolutely. If this is the way the schemes are written up and everything, they're not doing anything to help themselves. Looks like we'll get a false start on the Raiders.
Yeah, it'll be
Illegal
curious to see what
formation,
happens.
sorry.
Curious to see what happens with the Raiders' offense this season if they open up more than this, because maybe all these screen passes and everything are just for
The quarterback situation they have right now.
But it is Josh McDaniels, and they did a lot of this in Tampa, or not in Tampa Bay, in New England with Brady and then with Mac Jones, both of them. A lot of short screen passes. That is Josh McDaniels' style.
And that did not help there on that 1st and 15. Losing a couple on that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of the thing. But then again, if you have Derek Carr, you got to air it out a little bit.
And I think he will. I think it's just preseason, not trying to show too much of his playbook and playing it close to the vest. He knows what he has on those stretch plays, especially down the field with Devontae and Derek. He's seen it all training camp. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know, though.
Come on.
I don't know, though. This looks like a very, like, play call and scheme-wise, it looks very much like a Patriots offense that I'm watching this whole game. And McDaniel's probably calling the plays, I think, for the Raiders. And this might be the Raiders' offense. We see a lot of short passes, a lot of screen passes. Obviously, none better than Devontae Adams to have with how much he's. You can argue whether or not he's best receiver in the league. You can't argue that he's number one in getting separation right off the line of scrimmage, and his footwork is the best in the league. So,
no, absolutely. He is unbelievable at what he does. As the Raiders will take a big sack there, bringing up a 4th and very long.
Yeah, and, Mullins obviously being their third string quarterback, but still don't want to be running headfirst into the belly of a linebacker. That's not a good recipe for not the type of hits you want to be taking. Not that you want to take any, but
yeah, not the best look there. That's rough right there.
Hey, the under's looking a little more promising. We got to get a little touch back there.
Here we go. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I am ahead of you, AJ.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
We've got a touchback. Jaguars taking over at the 20, coming back.
Love it.
And AJ, I'm going to step away real quick for a minute or two during this commercial break.
Sounds good. See you in a bit, bud. As we go into this commercial break here, we are seeing, preseason football at its finest. Low scoring opportunities to score and not taking advantage of them. Sloppy play left, right, and center, as we do see a lot of these third, second string guys getting in there trying to make some film and trying to make the team. As we see in Hard Knocks every season with the new season with the Lions kicking off next Tuesday, a lot of these guys just trying to make the team, trying to get on that 53-man roster, and if not, trying to make that practice squad. If they can't make the practice squad, put some good film on tape and get to another team that might need some help there. Because, going through and cutting all those people, it's rough. And, you might get an injury where you don't expect the injury, and so you need to bring another player in, and that's where a game like this can really help some of these younger guys coming in. Going off of what Noah said about Josh McDaniels running a Patriot-style offense, I mean, yeah, he was in the system for how many years? I mean, I'll talk about this with Noah when he gets back on, but of course, when you need a safe game, you don't want to get anyone hurt, you call these short type passes, and you keep the ball moving, and you do set yourself up the best way to win, because even though it's a preseason game, no one likes to lose. No one likes to lose, even when it doesn't matter. No one likes to lose, and so being able to know that the calls he's calling are working and being able to get them points and being able to get them set up to make some touchdowns, field goals, and whatever they need to put most points on the board, because at the end of the day, that is all that matters, is putting as many points on the board as possible and hoping that it's more than your opponent. At the end of the day, that's all it's about. You throw the ball, you catch the ball, you run the ball, you defend the ball, you score the ball. Bull Durham. Simple as that. No lollygagging here. But You know, it's so nice to have football back. It really is. I love baseball. I'm a baseball player through and everything, but you know, the season does get long, especially when your team is the Arizona Diamondbacks and they absolutely suck and don't do anything during the trade deadline. But enough about the baseball talk. We're here about the Hall of Fame game. We're here about football as Noah's getting set up to come back here. We'll bring him back on in a second. But yeah, seeing some highlights of Hall of Famers and everything as Noah seems to be ready to come back on. And Noah, while you're back, I'm going to also step away for a hot moment.
Sounds good, AJ. As we see the first play, looks like an incomplete pass from Jacksonville as we're back. Couple minutes left in the first half, about 6 minutes. If you are on the under 14.5, we need no score here. If you're on the over, you're hoping Jacksonville can put something together or give the ball back to the Raiders so they can do something with it. 6.5 left, second down and 10. See if Jacksonville can string anything together. They've looked pretty dismal so far, not being able to really move the ball on offense, not looking good on defense at all. Although it is only 13 points that they've given up, it's not terrible being able to hold Jacksonville to a couple, or hold the Raiders to a couple of field goals, rather.
Hey, DJ, seems like Noah did freeze while I stepped away for a moment. We're going to wait to get him back. I don't know where he left off, but we're back with the Hall of Fame game coverage of the Raiders versus the Jaguars. Raiders winning right now 13-0 as we're in the second quarter here. Noah, if you can hear me, shoot me a text. Make sure you're okay. It says he got disconnected. Hopefully we can get him reconnected. Let's see if we can figure out. Of course, it wouldn't be our first NFL coverage if we didn't have insane technical difficulties. You'll love to see it. As the Jaguars now setting up to punt. Bomb it. Oh, good leg there. Nice punt all the way back to the 18. And the Raiders going to try to make something out of nothing there, taking it to about the 30. Not a bad run there. We'll see what happens with the next offensive drive coming up. God, it's so nice to have football back. So nice. You could smell it this morning. The air smelled better. Food tasted better today. This beer is tasting better today. I mean, football is all the way back, and you just love to see it. And again, thank you so much, all of you, for listening, watching, however you're doing it. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to do this. And if you want to support us, please check out our merch. Link in the bio down below. Noah's sending me text messages now saying unable to connect to the session. So I'm going to have to send him another email in order to get that done as the Raiders set up, running the ball yet again. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a very heavy running offense for the Raiders. I almost said the Buccaneers. For the Raiders coming in, especially with all of the weapons they have back there. Noah and I talked about it all game so far. I mean, there is not one person that I've seen on there that hasn't just done epic with the ball, and they've been keeping it safe, which is half of it. Sending the new link to you, Noah, if you can hear me. Shotgun formation now, 2nd and 11. Call in audible on the field. Oh, they're going to come back, and they're going to re-huddle for some reason. We'll see what happens there. But Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth, can't wait to actually hear them on the call when I get the opportunity to, and not be sitting here as I'm trying to bring Noah back on. Noah's still not there. There he is. Noah, give me 1 second, and I should be able to bring you back on. Boom goes the dynamite, Noah. Welcome back to the broadcast.
Yo, I don't know what happened there. I got booted off, man.
Well, you were frozen, so I disconnected you, and then I re-invited you back.
Ah.
That's the behind-the-scenes magic for all you D-gens out there. Working all the time to make the best we can. As Stidham, 3rd and 11 now. Am I Noah? What the fuck? No, I'm going to leave you alone for a hot sec. Like, 3rd and 11 here. What are you expecting from Josh McDaniels?
Well, we'll see. They're throwing a little corner out. Looks like a nice little completion there. Getting about 14, 15 on 3rd and 11. Nice little route there. Might be a little play we see in their playbook. Obviously going to help with Devontae Adams and Derek Carr in there at some point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think the Derek Carr, Devontae Adams is going to be one of the biggest connections going in there. Damn it, no, I'm having some tech difficulties. Give me a moment.
Yeah, massive feedback coming back there. Raiders out to punt the ball. Under looking okay, except for the fact that these drives are only lasting a minute or two apiece. Would love to see those go a little bit longer at least. Run a little bit more clock. But Raiders punt unit out there. Jacksonville should get the ball back. Hopefully we can run a couple minutes off the clock. Maybe give it back. Have that under hit. That would be great.
That would be so nice to get that under to hit.
And yeah, you're still, at least in my ears, you're echoing big time.
Echoing big time. How about now? Is it even worse?
Yeah, that got worse.
Yeah, that's that new button I got on the thing, but that's not working. Give me a minute. No, I'll try to figure it out.
Well, hey, at least we're running through all these difficulties now before we get to the regular season so we can be primed and ready for a clean stream on, week 1, week 2, whenever we decide to do our first NFL live stream. I'm not sure when that'll be, but we are, like I said, running through all of our difficulties right now.
Yeah, hopefully fixed now?
Nope, not at all. As AJ tries to deal with this echo problem. I don't know if that's coming through to you viewers or not, or if that's just on my end, but it is rather annoying.
Oh, man, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know if it's something you're doing with your shot there, AJ, or anything.
I mean, is it working now or is it still shit?
No, it's still shit.
That's fun.
Yeah, see, it's fine when you have it in this view and it's just me and I can hear you. I don't think viewers can hear you.
So don't just nod your head no. You can hear me now, right? And it's fine? All right.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Keep speculating on something. Suck Aaron Rodgers' dick if you want to.
AJ just telling me to gas up Aaron Rodgers here.
Well, if you're not going to talk about anything else.
Well, I suppose I probably shouldn't be talking to you, AJ, because nobody else can hear you. Yeah, just ironing out some details here. AJ trying to get the technology side of things working. We're hoping for no more points this half. Let's have a nice little under hit. That would be great. As we are returning to action here at the Hall of Fame game. Looks like the play was called incomplete. Raiders challenging it. Should end up being a complete pass.
Oh, yeah, that looks pretty good.
You are still echoing like crazy, AJ. Yeah, Jacksonville's defense just, continuously looking terrible. I get it's not their starters, but I don't have a lot of faith for when their starters are out there against starters of other teams because they look horrible. The schemes look bad. Just a lot of holes everywhere.
Lots of. Fuck me.
They get a nice little stop on first down. It's going to bring up probably 2nd and 10 here.
How about now, bud?
Nope.
Still no?
Yep. And if you're listening and enduring this, thank you for still listening as we iron out these technical difficulties with the audio. Another screen pass from the Raiders on 2nd down. Going to bring up 3rd and short here. And I think that's something we're going to see a lot of all season is a lot of screen passes, short pass plays from this Raiders offense. It seems to be what Josh McDaniels likes to do. And he's had a lot of success with it in the past, especially with the Patriots. So, a little toss play on 3rd down. Raiders are going to get the first down here. 3 minutes and 19 seconds left in the half and counting.
All right, do this time. Let's try it. No, am I working now?
No.
Fuck.
Raiders on the 42, 43 yard line, 42 and a half yard line, I guess. Throwing a deep ball finally, and not quite hauled in. Almost hauled in, but not quite. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. 2:47 left on the clock.
Yeah, I got no idea, dude. Let me try this. How about now, Noah?
Nope. Wait. Say something again?
Say something again.
It's echoing, but not quite as bad.
Huh. How about now?
Nope. Still
No
not
echo?
fixed. Raider. No. You have an echo still. Raiders picking up the first down. Player injured, though. Only our 2nd injury of the game, from what I can recall. Hopefully that player's okay. Taking a massive helmet-to-helmet hit, though. Not what you want to see. Oof. Yeah, Jacksonville defender just leading crown of the helmet into the side of the receiver's helmet there for the Raiders. Hopefully nothing serious again. And I think because of our technical difficulties, we are approaching halftime. We are going to cut this one a little bit short. Thank you for sticking with us, for all of the viewers who are watching this. And we will have all of these issues ironed out before the regular season of NFL, before our next live, hopefully. And follow us on social media. AJ at the Brofect1, myself at _Engelbretson, at Angle Money Train for all of the best picks. We have merch, so go check that out. Links should be in the bios of our social medias at Degen Takes, Degenerate Takes, something along those lines. Given the platform, it's a little bit different everywhere. And yeah, I've been Noah. AJ has been AJ. And